What is the purpose of biblical leadership? Where does this fit into all of this? All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick look here. Biblical leadership. Why is it necessary? So what is the purpose of biblical leadership? Obey your leaders and submit to them, for they keep watch over our souls as those who will give an account. Let them do this with joy and not with grief, for this would be unprofitable to you. Godly assembly leaders or righteous assembly leaders help assembly members by keeping watch over their souls. Okay, Hebrews 13:17. We're going to keep going. And so, of course, assembly leaders are at the helm of the fellowship. They have insights, knowledge, wisdom, and expertise that enable them to help properly direct and counsel believers who are under their care. They pray to and hear from Abba on our behalf. They work hard to rightly divide the word of truth. They are there to teach, exhort, encourage, counsel, and correct with love. They see things that we may not always see. We are to listen to them with love as they follow Messiah. Respect for their authority shows our love and respect for Abba and Messiah. Be responsive to your pastoral leaders, your elders, as is required by biblical mandate. Listen to their counsel. They are alert to the condition of your lives and work under the strict supervision of Elohim. They help steer us in the right direction and help us to navigate our spiritual walk properly. So as you saw in the graphic, the man had a compass in his hand. Okay, this is what leaders do. This is what they do. They help us to navigate, to steer us in the right direction. Does that make sense? All right, so we're going to keep moving right along here. Just wanted to put that out there.
Again, Shaul speaking. He's given his final words to the Ephesian elders, and he warns them. He says, therefore, take heed to yourselves, elders, and to all the flock, among which the Ruach has made you overseers, to shepherd the assembly of Elohim, which he purchased with his own blood. For I know this, that after my departure, savage wolves will come in among you, not sparing the flock, but also among yourselves men will rise up, speaking perverse things to draw away the disciples after themselves. So you can see how this might strike my heartstrings, as we have a responsibility here. This is a serious responsibility, and biblically we, meaning Rick, Jahdiel, and myself, are responsible as elders of this assembly to adhere to this exhortation. Excuse me. We have the charge to teach, prepare, and counsel you by the guidance of the Ruach to adhere to all of Scripture. But the only way to recognize what is false is to know what is true. Praise Yah.
If you believe that Yah set up the order, like you see an order with Israel, you see an order with, even in the New Testament, you see an order. You don't see just everybody, working on themselves or working by themselves. Even Paul, even in his disagreements with people, he didn't override the order that was there before he even came to Yah. He submitted to the order, but he spoke his mind. And because he spoke his mind, he was able to help everybody else, including the leadership. So it's not a matter of trying to be leadership. It's about trying to respect Yah's order and to lead in the way that Yah wants you to lead. But there's so many people that they don't want to submit. And that's what 1 Corinthians 11 is talking about. people don't want to submit. They want to usurp authority. They want to have, they want to have the same authority, but authority doesn't mean value. Value. Yah has made man and woman and child with the same value, but his order has established an authority. There's an authority difference, even though it's the same value. And what people are doing is they're confusing that. They think that because people are in authority, that for some reason they have a higher value. And that's where the disruption comes in. That's why people want to do things by themselves. That's why I wanted to do things by myself for a while. When I was leaving the church, I didn't know where to go, but I didn't really understand the aspect of submission. So I didn't even respect the older people there that actually I could think back, and they had some really good things to say, but I didn't even respect that because I was just by myself, So I even in the midst of this assembly, like we have three brothers that are different elders, and when they make a decision and I have a difference of opinion, I submit to the other two elders. Like I don't override them and say I'm gonna do this by myself. That's not how it works. I submit to it unless it's pertaining to sin, blatant sin, which I believe that Yah will open all of our eyes to see these things. We've been on one accord for a long time now in regards to sin, but in regards to other things, I submit to the order. And likewise, if me and Brother Rick agree with something, Rod submits, and we submit to one another, because the order is not based off of me. It's based off of the position that Yah has. Because when I'm gone, someone is going to be in that position, and Yah is going to maintain his order. So the order is not a person. The order is the authority that he's going to give to people who are responsible. And so when a woman loses their husband, unfortunately, I believe that the lack has to come from the people who she respect and honor as far as guidance. But there shouldn't be this going off by yourself inside a world, isolating yourself, because that's how the enemy attacks its prey, isolating you and then devours you. So, Yah's people need to maintain that order and trust that Yah is going to bless an order, and pick your battles. Always battle sin. Don't battle opinions of ideas that may disagree with you, but battle sin. And that's what Yah is. The difference is the indignation goes to sin, not to a disagreement on what's the mark of the beast. Oh, I think the mark of the beast is this. Oh, no. Oh, you can't be a leader. Like, no. Like, if we're on one chord with righteousness, we can have two different thoughts on mark of the beast. I guarantee if we're walking in righteousness, Yah won't allow any of us, even in a difference of opinion, to get the mark of the beast, because we're walking in righteousness. He will reveal it and make it clear to those in righteousness. That's what he says. He reveals his secrets to those those who fear him. So we need to understand that just because there may be a different view, it doesn't mean that the order is off. You can see that in the book of Acts. Like, they had a different view many times. It doesn't mean that now they can go against what Yah has clearly established. If you believe that Yah clearly established it, then it will be a blessing to submit to it. And also to if you have a different of opinion, to express yourself, because you may be helping the leadership to learn, to grow, just as Paul did in Acts 15, But anyway, it's a big dynamic, and there's so many things. Yah has promised to restore the judges and the counselors amongst his people. Isaiah chapter 1. He says, when he restores his judges and his counselors, just as he did in the beginning, he says, then his people will be referred to as the faithful city of righteousness. But when we like to do things out of order, we're not going to be a people. We're going to be just a bunch of different independent atoms. And that's not what Yah is trying to teach us to be.
For an overseer, says Yah Stewart, must be above reproach. He must not be arrogant or quick-tempered, or a drunkard, or violent, or greedy for gain, but hospitable, a lover of good, self-controlled, upright, set apart, and disciplined. He must hold firm to the trustworthy word as taught, so that he may be able to give instruction in sound doctrine, and also to rebuke those who contradict it.
So I exhort the elders among you, as a fellow elder and a witness of the sufferings of the Messiah, as well as a partaker in the glory that is going to be revealed. Shepherd the flock of Yah that is among you, exercising oversight, not under compulsion, but willingly, as Yah would have you, not for shameful gain, but eagerly, not domineering over those in your charge, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the unfading crown of glory. 1 Peter 5:1-4. The saying is trustworthy. If anyone aspires to the office of overseer, he desires a noble task, and let them also be tested first. Then let them serve as deacons if they prove themselves blameless. Their wives likewise must be dignified, not slanderers, but sober-minded, faithful in all things. Let deacons each be the husband of one wife, managing their children and their own households well. For those who serve well as deacons gain a good standing for themselves, and also great confidence in the faith that is Yahusah HaMashiach. 1 Timothy 3:1 and verse 10-13. Where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in an abundance of counselors there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. Toda Robah, praise Abba Yah, from whom all baraka flow. We hope this video encouraged you today. Don't forget to study to show yourself approved and be like the Bereans who tested everything, according to 2 Timothy 3:15 and Acts 17:11. We assemble every Shabbat and during the week with like-minded believers all over the world, virtually, and sometimes we gather in person for feast days. We have something for the whole family, including children. Discover more on our website at assemblyofyahuah.com, where you can apply to join, give the biblical assembly needs, and find many biblical resources to help you grow in your walk with Yah. To know when we publish new videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Jeremiah 33:3 tells us, "Call to Yahuwah, and he will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." Much shalom.